Hey guys, Sorin here from Sorin Gaming, and in today's video I'm going to show y'all a trick for building with pillars, or really a technique for building with pillars that I think is a lot more efficient than what I used to use. I'm sure most people watching this video know about this way of building with pillars, but I didn't for a long time, and as a result I did things a lot harder than it needed to be. So anyway, let's get right into it. So with this technique, you want to always start at your lower elevation of where you want your base to be. So we'll place our first one in the orientation. We're going to go straight down this way. Best to find as flat as an area as you can. So you'll see, without having to do any ceilings, these pillars actually snap next to each other. And we're probably going to get to a spot where, oh, okay, actually it snapped anyway. It's good. Still snapping. You can kind of problem shoot. So this one went up a little bit. So if it goes up a little bit, you just simply place a second pillar on top, and that raises the plane of kind of where the pillars are looking. So probably when we get over this hill, it's not going to let us go down. Well, looks like it is. Okay, but here we can't. So there's several things we could do to combat that. What I'll usually do is, if I have a different area that's going to be built out anyway, kind of perpendicular to this, I'll go ahead and try to build that and then come back from the other side. So we'll just pretend like that's our outer wall. Okay, now let's try going back this way. So actually, let me just tell you this also. So you don't have to build them solid. You only have to build them, you can build a 4 gap between where you have to kind of do your cross lines of pillars. So we don't have to build here. 1, 2, 3, 4. We can have 4 open. So it means on the 5th one is where we want to build back our second thing coming across. Another thing you can do, if your pillars won't snap like they should, is you can do it the old-fashioned way and just connect some ceilings up above. So see, it won't snap. It doesn't like going downhill. We'll try one more over. So we'll say that's where we wanted to do the end of our base anyway. So now we're going to come across. Oh shoot. Of course that's downhill. Let's see, maybe that one won't be. Okay, we'll pretend like that's where we want to build our base. Okay, so obviously times when we're not going to be able to connect them this way, they won't snap. And in these instances, you just kind of do it the old-fashioned way. So I'm going to go ahead and grab a ceiling. Don't really. So we're going to see if we can't just come over here. Sometimes you have to kind of get the right angle to get these things to snap down. Okay, now we're back in business. Looks like we might have actually ended in a plane a little further out than we intended to. It's okay. Okay, so then we're going to connect these end ones. Uh-oh. Get on our trusty bird here. Oh, maybe not. Alright, is that connected? And that connected. Okay, so just take a look at what we've done. Again, we have pillars that are all basically 1 block apart, but you don't have to build anything in between. You can build a gap of 4 rows between. And then from here, we're going to be able to just do some ceilings. And you can see we had to do some a little bit higher, so I'm gonna go ahead and build on this plane up here, I think. I hear that Rex. So, I mean, it still takes a bit of materials, but I find this to be way more material efficient to build with this technique versus the building pillars, connecting each one with ceilings, and doing them kind of one at a time. As you saw when we have terrain going up and down, this technique is a little bit challenged, but again, as long as you're building from low to high, and you know, if you kind of like you saw, if we had one plan of our base that did allow for the pillars to build all the way across, you can always come back in an opposite direction and reconnect it, because it will connect going uphill, just not down. I don't know why the game can't recognize. Oh gosh. It was inevitable. He was going to come. And he's going to leave. Looks like we didn't quite bring enough, but yeah, that's basically what I wanted to show y'all. Alright, well, I just wanted to show y'all kind of the method I was telling you at work, or how we've used it. So it's real helpful when you're trying to build something high up, and you don't want to build all of the support all the way to the ground. And as long as these things are connected in the snap pattern I showed you, it'll work, and you don't have to have any kind of like pillars connecting the ground. Just for peace of mind, we have done a couple for fear that, I don't know what would happen, but for fear that somehow someday it could all come crashing down, we have built some. But you can see we have four blocks between our rows of pillars, and then we just built the base above, and this went super fast. I'll show you a couple others real fast. Alright, here we are at our incredibly messy water base. You can see it's a big building on the water, and lots of room down below for water creatures. And here you can see we've got our walls made out of the behemoth gates for pretty maximum efficiency, and then down below we just have pillars running along the ground. So made this a really cheap enclosure. And then finally we have our my TriMate John's really cool otter base that we use for getting over to the obelisk to do bossing, and I'll show you down below how we have it set up. Now he ended up building down a little bit, but as you can see, we just did that technique I was telling you, built down to up, and we're able to build on a pretty large area by just placing pillars on the ground. Alright guys, well, I hope you find that helpful, and yeah, appreciate you taking the time to watch, and hope you have a lot of fun using this technique to build some really amazing, beautiful structures in Ark.